Hello Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, fellow Toast members and guests. Miracle in a cup. If I ask the question, do you or anyone you know take coffee or occasionally drink coffee, what would your answer be?
No.
I thought so. Majority of us take coffee, and those who don't, they do it occasionally. It all started round about February this year, the end of February. I had this phone call in the comfort of my home. I was relaxing and I had a phone call from a friend whom I hadn't spoken with for quite some time. And she said to me, I have something interesting that I think might be of interest to you. And I'm like, really? She goes, yes. What's this about? She said, it's about coffee. Coffee? Coffee. It was really odd because I don't usually talk about things like that. Coffee, I talk about more important things, or so I thought. And she said, well, this coffee will blow your mind. I'm like, really? She goes, yes. And then she asked me, you do take coffee, don't you? I'm like, occasionally. She goes, why don't you come round to mine this evening for a cup of coffee? I'm like, very well. So I got in my car and off I drove all the way to Dagenham. And on the way there, I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. You leave your home for a cup of coffee all the way, Dagenham? I'm like, well, I haven't seen my friend in ages. It should be worth it. I got there. And she said to me on arrival, you strike me as one of those people who might like coffee. And I did drink quite a bit of coffee in my uni days, trying to stay awake, study and all of that. But I like coffee, I like the aroma, but you know what coffee does? She goes, aha, that's the catch. And then she sat me down and gave me a long lecture about the bad side of coffee. And I'll read some of them out to you. I learned a lot about coffee. A lot of the things she said I didn't know. She said, coffee constricts blood vessels, reducing blood oxygen levels. She said, coffee stimulates elevated levels of, excuse me if I pronounce some words wrong, cortisol, contributing to arthritis, diabetes, depression, and stress. She said coffee increases insulin production, creating a blood sugar roller coaster. She said coffee dehydrates the body, so the body loses water. Symptoms of dehydration includes headaches, muscle and joint pain, constipation, heartburn, and rashes. She said coffee is highly acidic and it causes a pH imbalance in the body. The secret to health is to maintain a balance of your pH. Diseases harbor in an acidic environment, things like tumors and cancers and stuff. She says coffee may require up to 16 glasses of water to neutralize the acidity of 1 cup if you're a regular coffee drinker. She says coffee raises blood pressure. She says coffee gives you jitters and caffeine crash. That I knew from experience, from uni. And I'm like, where are you going with all of this? She says, I want to introduce you to healthy coffee. I'm like, Can I know a little bit more about this? She goes, yes, it's coffee that's been infused with a miracle herb, a Chinese miracle herb, that does all sorts of wonderful things because the herb is 100% organic and it has a lot of health benefits. I'm a doubting Thomas. I went online, I Googled it, and I was blown away because there were thousands and thousands of testimonies from people who had benefited from this herb, and they gave their account of how they benefited. I'm like, okay. I ordered some of the coffee and I took that away with me. I was a bit hesitant. I would Google every day to see if I was on the right track before I started taking it. And I thought, no harm, I'll try. I started drinking the coffee And for the first week, I thought it was my imagination. I felt energized when I woke up in the morning, and I just felt good. But one of the things she also told me about this coffee, she says, it oxygenates the body, naturally detoxifies, balances pH levels, increases immune system, provides energy. I'm like, no jitters or caffeine crash. True, I didn't have any coffee jitters for over 2 weeks. So I carried on. Up until about the end of March, I noticed I haven't had any hay fever symptoms, which isn't me. Every year I would practically take the whole chemist home with me. And it's like, this is the end of March. I knew it was the coffee, without a doubt, I knew. And I carried on until today. I wake up, general feeling of health, well-being, and I know that is a miracle in a cup. And I'm glad I took that healthy option. I'm not here to advertise the coffee, but it's good stuff, I can assure you. Thank you.